Outback Truckers. Meet Turbo.
I am the devil's nightmare.
He's a trucker facing the fires of hell.
I'm going to be driving straight into the heart.
Owner-operator Yogi begins the biggest week of his career.
So the pressure's coming on there.
The future of his new business and family is at stake.
I've got no brake lights on the truck now and the trailer, and something's shorting out.
Sharon Collins faces a rocky road to make it in a man's world.
It can get a little bit exciting.
That is a wet operator.
This is Peter Titoff, aka Turbo. The hard-driving, hard-talking trucker has 33 years behind the wheel, and he's up for any challenge.
The devil wants to play. I want to play.
Turbo owns his own truck and business. His greatest challenge is keeping the work coming in and his rig fully loaded.
Every time that wheel doesn't turn, it costs a couple of $1,000. Those wheels turn, they make money.
He's on a job heading from Darwin to the remote mining town of Mount Isa to pick up a load. From there, he's heading home to Brisbane in Queensland. At 4,300 kilometres, it's like driving from New York to Los Angeles. It's not the distance he's worried about, but the fuel bill.
It's going to cost me $4,500 in fuel to come home, so there's $9,000 in fuel in a round trip in a week.
To help grease his palm with much needed cash, Turbo's desperate to travel with a full load to Mount Isa. But this small boat is the only load he can come up with. It won't even pay half his fuel bill.
Ow. Ow. I just broke a nail. It's not going to play.
And Turbo has another, even bigger problem. He still hasn't been paid for his last job.
$100 sitting in the pocket ain't going to get you very far.
Without funds, he can't fuel his truck.
I've got to wait for, roughly $2,500 to clear so I can do my fuel tonight.
He hopes his wife, Jo, back home, has some good news.
Yes.
Hello, darling.
Hi.
What you doing?
Oh, nothing much.
So, has anything gone in the bank yet?
No, it hasn't gone in.
Hasn't gone in.
No, I told you, they got stuff you around.
Ah, for sake. It's not what I want.
No funds means no fuel, means Turbo's going nowhere. Deep in the arid Queensland outback, the temperature's heading for 40 degrees. The last rain was months ago. For the last 9 months, it's been home to tipper driver Sharon Collins.
I've got a road train of 3 side tipper trailers, and we're hauling gold from a mine out the back of Forsyth into the mill at Georgetown itself.
The 37-year-old Kiwi has been driving the big rigs for 2 years. She's based 8 hours inland, near the isolated town of Forsyth. Each round trip from gold mine to processing mill is 88 kilometres, twice the length of a marathon.
I try and get 4 loads in a day. It depends if you do tyres or you have an airline blow, or if all goes well, you can get your 4 loads in.
4 gruelling deliveries a day, 6 days a week, for 9 months. Sharon's journey has already covered nearly 80,000 kilometres, like driving twice around the world. And in these conditions, Sharon's truck takes a beating.
Flat tyres out here are a regular occurrence. It comes with the territory that we're in. It's just rugged terrain.
Flat tyres mean lost time, and in this game, the bottom line is simple. No delivery, no pay.
The truck gets paid per tonne, how much I cart during the day. If you have a few issues during the day, you'll generally only get 3 loads in. I live in my truck. Towards the end of the year, you do get over it. Yes, I'm over it.
After 9 months of hard yakka, for Sharon, the end is in sight. In 2 days' time, she goes home.
It is really special to go home, open up the doors and the windows, and it's so fresh and sweet smelling.
In Katanning, Western Australia, Glenn Kendall, aka Yogi, is getting ready for one of the biggest, most stressful weeks of his career. The 37-year-old heavy haulage expert has been booked to transport several huge agricultural machines deep into the state's wheat belt, to the town of Dowerin. It's a 330-kilometre round trip. The destination, one of the biggest farming exhibitions in the country.
30,000 people go past, I think, in a 2-day event, you know. It's going to be wet this year, I think, so it's even better when it's raining because farmers love the rain. So, yeah. No rain, no grain.
This agricultural fair is big business. Each year, millions of dollars are spent on machines like these. It's down to Yogi to deliver his clients' pride and joy, on time and without a scratch.
The ultimate goal for me with everything I do is no damage.
You want some breakfast?
For Yogi, there's more than just a big job at stake. He's a third-generation trucker and a devoted family man. And just 3 months ago, he and wife Amanda started their own business.
I suppose I do the behind-the-scenes stuff. Like, every business has got paperwork, so that's my big learning curve at the moment.
Amanda is also Yogi's pilot, guiding the wide-load truck through difficult sections of road.
I'll go home, get some lunch, and Dad will be there in a minute.
They've had to dig deep into the red to buy Yogi's second-hand truck and oversized trailer. It's a massive gamble.
I worry about the truck because it's an old truck. It's done 600,000 on a brand new motor. That's what worries me the most is, yeah, something could go wrong, you know.
This trip will be harder than most. Both Amanda and Yogi will be away.
It frustrates me going away, but, you know, once I know I've got to work, yeah. I know where I've got to be to make money. See you, kids. See you, mate.
In Darwin, owner-operator Turbo is still going nowhere.
I've got the biggest deadline that any driver anywhere in the world ever faces. Getting home to his family. Go and get my machine gun. Now.
Home is in Brisbane, Queensland, where Turbo lives with daughter Tracy and wife Jo.
I say I go away for a wedding. He burns the kitchen down. He comes in the door, strips off, throws his clothes all over the floor, and he sits on the lounge in his undies and watches TV.
Yeah, but I'm allowed to...
Typical male.
Jo and Turbo have been together for 17 years, but in the beginning, life was tough.
Because when we first got together, he was never home. It nearly broke us up. But eventually I got used to it. And so now it's a lot quieter when he goes away.
Turbo is on the road for 46 weeks of the year. Running their business from home, Jo and Turbo can never escape the pressures of trucking life.
You're worrying about people paying you. You worry about your insurance. You worry about is the load getting right. You got to worry about other idiots in cars. Are they going to pull out in front of you and you're going to run over the top of them? I can come home and I can just play engine. That's me meditation.
He'd do almost anything for you. Good to have you on your side. He'll protect you. You have him home for a short time, but then eventually he starts pissing you off.
Like,
What did you do to the poor egg? Oh, you killed the poor thing. What did it do
well,
to
they
you?
pissed me off.
Yeah, the egg didn't do it. I'm always happy when he comes home. But then it's always nice when he leaves.
In Darwin, Turbo still can't buy fuel. He's stuck. And now, the weather has turned against him. In the baking Queensland Outback, tipper driver Sharon Collins is heading to pick up another load of precious gold ore.
It's 10 past 11 in the morning and the heat would be in the mid-30s already, and it's still going to rise a whole heap.
It's not a job for the faint-hearted, but for Sharon, it's a dream come true.
Truck driving's always been a passion to me. The bigger the more bling, the cooler they are, the better they sound. I've always looked at these big trucks and just had a dream, and I just love it.
Sharon's heading for the Big Reef gold mine. Here, the one objective is to get gold ore out of the ground and to the processing mill as fast as possible. Every minute and every load is valuable.
The carting of the ore is quite important, so they come and load me straight away.
Each 70-tonne load contains gold worth more than $25,000. Over the last 9 months, Sharon's hauled a massive $20 million worth.
The loader is actually loading my lead trailer, which is the trailer straight behind the cab of the truck.
At 50 metres, Sharon's road train is more than 10 times the length of an average car. The trailers can be unstable and difficult to keep on the dirt roads.
These trailers here, they pull like a jellyfish at a disco. They're not easy to pull. They do slop around a little bit.
Out here, life on the road is tough, even for the best of them. Made even tougher when women represent less than 2% of Aussie truckers.
For myself to drive a truck with all the big boys, I feel very privileged. Women have come a long way in the bush in the last 20 years, and it's just incredible what we're allowed to do and what we can achieve now. It's a tough lifestyle, but we do it because we love it.
After 44 kilometres, Sharon's made it to the mine's processing mill.
Righto, mate, we'll come on and tip off and all be good.
Offloading a tipper should be simple, but Sharon's trailers have been designed to carry grain, not heavy rock. One of the biggest risks is getting the tipper doors jammed in the rock pile.
My doors are longer doors than normal. They drop down really low, and if you can't sit away from your pile enough, you will dry bog yourself.
There's another problem. As tons of gold ore pours out, rocks roll back under the truck's wheels. Tyres and suspension take a hammering. Sharon's worried about her tyres. In this heat, the last thing she needs is a flat.
Something like that won't break up and you'll just end up blowing a whole heap of tyres. Not good. I don't want to change tyres, it's too hot. We get too close to the piles, we get rocks between the jewels, and as soon as we get onto the bitumen, they'll blow both tyres, so. And I've got one left to get me hammer and bash it out. You gotta smash and smash. My little friend. That's the culprit and I don't want them.
Have you checked the bank?
In Darwin, Turbo is still waiting for money to fuel his truck.
No, nothing in there.
Ah, for sake. Can I go around and shoot all these now?
1,600 kilometres away in Mount Isa, his next load is waiting for him. If he can't leave in the next 24 hours, he'll lose the job.
But this is just bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
They say one thing and they don't do it.
Yeah.
They'll be getting phone calls tomorrow.
To fight the frustration, Turbo unleashes his secret weapon.
When I go to meditation, I'm going to a happy place. I do it so I become a better person, so I'm not an angry person, not an upset person. I don't need to be that person anymore.
Next morning,
Oh, that's hot.
there's still no money in the bank. His deadline is almost up. Desperate times call for desperate measures. At a garage, Turbo hopes he can use his charm to persuade the management to take a check. Heavy haulage trucker Yogi has arrived at the first pickup in a vital week for his new business. This brand new Cedar is worth more than $330,000.
Hold it.
It must be delivered without a scratch.
Just having a look is where I can go with the straps and chains. Obviously, we don't want any damage. As people walk around it, they'll look at it, they'll touch it, they'll want to rub up beside it and pretend they own it.
The load's safely on board and Yogi's ready to leave. But then there's a problem.
I've got no brake lights on the truck now on the trailer, and something's shorting out and it's tripping the circuit breaker out there somewhere. So all the trailer lights work. There's just no brake lights at all.
Repairs and delays could cost Amanda and Yogi big money in lost business.
I've got to get it fixed. So our day has just turned pear-shaped.
His mechanic needs to check his schedule and ring him back.
Right, mate. Thank you.
While he waits, Yogi wires up a temporary fix. With time running short, he takes a gamble and heads for the mechanic's yard. But just as he does, the weather serves up an extra challenge.
As the rain comes.
On wet roads, Yogi will have to carefully navigate his way through city streets.
First tree, first problem. Very concerned. Yeah, I'm watching out for the trees. Just low trees right along there. I don't want any damage. Big trucker coming through. Get out of the way.
This delay puts the whole job on the line.
Yeah, we obviously lose money because we don't do the job because we're not going to get back today. So one of my mates will get the job. If I've got to pull out on the deal, then that's a bit frustrating because, you know, it's nice to put the money in the bank, so, yeah.
Up ahead, there's more bad news.
Oh, that's going to be tight.
A narrow section of roadworks.
Oh, this is going to stress me out, I reckon. Oh. Bugger. Yeah, they got one lane block.
Yogi must squeeze his 4.5 metre wide load through the gap. If he gets stuck now, his whole trip will end right here. Sharon Collins is on her next run. Once again, she hits the narrow dirt tracks, a constant hazard with oncoming traffic.
Train outbound 4.3.
Sharon must check in constantly to find out if there's traffic heading towards her.
It gets a little bit tricky through this area because it's all only single lane, and if you do meet somebody, there's not a great deal of room to pull off in places.
To stop her fully loaded road train, she'll need almost a kilometre of track.
Get a bit of a run up for this section here. You got to have the right gears and be ready for another car coming, or yeah, we've got a blind hill at the top of it, so you never know what's coming over the top.
As Sharon reaches a blind hill, she's completely reliant on the radio to let her know what's on the other side.
We've got to be very careful. It can get a little bit exciting. Met a mob of cattle this morning on this hill.
As she makes it safely over the top, she heads downhill, picking up speed. Then, without warning...
And here we've got a water truck coming up.
There's barely room for one vehicle. Slam on the brakes, and Sharon risks rolling the 100-ton truck. Something or someone's got to give. In Perth, Yogi is still trying to make his way through narrow roadworks.
That's going to be tight. Hey, Curly. Stay there in the back. Just let me know what's going on. Got one lane block. Yeah, right. Concentrate, eh?
With work trucks and concrete barriers on either side of the road, Yogi's got just centimetres to spare. If the road narrows any further, he'll be stuck fast. Adding to his stress,
Yeah, mate. Come on, bud. Come on.
a roadwork truck is trying to squeeze past him.
Thanks, man. It'd be nice if you move. I can make it, mate, if you get over. Good job, Togs.
While Yogi survived one crisis, at the mechanics yard, there's bad news. The mechanics can't look at the truck until tomorrow.
But at the end of the day, we've got to come back. So yeah, because now today's this afternoon load will have to be tomorrow. So because it's like 10 o'clock now and we're not going to make it today.
Sharon is on a collision course. Without warning, a water truck has appeared directly in her path. Sharon must push the 100-ton truck as close to the edge of the track as she can.
Not a great deal of room, but we're doing our best. I didn't hear the water truck call, but he may be on a different channel.
While she survived one hazard, a few kilometres later, there's another.
Yeah, we've got a blown tyre and we'll need to change that ASAP.
It's time Sharon can't afford to lose. She must change a 55-kilo wheel in blistering 40-degree heat. If she can't get the job done quickly, she'll miss the last run of the day, costing her employer big money.
Before you take the wheel nuts right off, you got to give the side of the chock, that's a chock there, you got to give that a hit so that they release, they jam on there, and that's what holds your tyres on. If you don't do that, they'll come off like bullets and do some damage to knees, shins.
At $600 a tyre, the cost of working in the outback can rack up.
On an average out here, it'll be 2 to 3 a week tyre changes. Any more than that, and you sort of don't make money on a job. Oh, watch all the steel sticking out of. I need to try and move my valve stem so it's in the middle so it's accessible. Where I start getting wild because it's the end of the day and nothing seems to work. part of it. The tough times, the good times. In any job, you're going to get hard areas where you just don't want to do it, or, yeah, you're out here for weeks and months on end and you've got to do it all yourself. So what do you do?
While she can get back on the road, Sharon's now almost out of daylight.
Oh, it's hot. Right, another load, eh?
She'll have to race the setting sun to make her last run of the day. At a petrol station, Turbo's been doing some fast talking to get fuel.
After all this drama, one piece of good news. They will actually take a check off. So I can fuel and I can get the out of town.
While he can fill up, it's a gamble. If Turbo isn't paid by the time the check hits his account, he'll have a brand new headache to deal with.
$2,245.16 gone in 10 minutes.
Let's clean it up, at least I can see what I'm about to bloody hit.
With his destination still more than 1,000 kilometres away, he needs to push on.
A delay at this point is a case of it breaks the bank. I've got to do what I've got to do to get there.
With just a small boat on board, he's running light. He can make up precious time.
At the moment, I'm basically loaded with thin air.
But up ahead, Turbo meets his nemesis.
Caravans. Here we are on a federal highway, 130 kilometres zone, and we're now doing 70 and dropping. It's all right, buddy boy. I got all the time in the world. I can do 60 kilometres an hour. They are an absolute danger, and I mean they're the biggest dangers on the road. I'm 40 metres in length, and I can't do anything. I've just got to sit here and endure this punishment.
While slow-moving tourists are part and parcel of life on the road, for Turbo, the hazard runs much deeper.
I had a caravan at 1 o'clock in the morning, sat in the middle of the road. I've had to put the truck off the road and into the bush. Seats collapsed into the floor, and it's just absolutely and utterly destroyed my spine. Big time. I'm having painkillers every day.
While Turbo can finally overtake, up ahead is something even more dangerous, a bushfire.
This area is actually very dry. It's really windy, which is not a good sign.
With around 50,000 of them a year in Australia, bushfires are a constant danger on outback highways.
If that has hit on the highway and it closes the highway, it is all over Red Rover. There could be 20, 30-foot flames right on the edge of the road. We're going to drive straight into the centre of that. Straight into the heart of it.
His hopes rest on a radio call to another trucker.
Over there, northbound float. Yeah, mate, what's the DA back here of this scrub fire? Whereabouts is she, mate?
It's not a worry, digger, mate. It's still well off the road.
While the news is good,
Looking at it, we are sort of going to run along the edge of it.
Turbo's lost valuable time. He has a long night ahead of him. Yogi is also pushing hard to make up lost time.
I'm not going to chuck it away, yeah. I'm not going to give him the towel, yeah. Like, yeah, we'll still get it done.
Already delayed, he's fighting to keep a vital week's business on track.
I've had to change my time slots from today till tomorrow for the loading times of the tractors, and just talk to the customers and look, reassure them that their freight will turn up to the Dowerin field day. It's a worrying time for them as it is for me.
On the road, he has another problem to deal with. keeping his $330,000 freight out of the Western Australian bush.
It's quite tight through here and the road sort of drops away.
A kilometre ahead, Yogi's wife and pilot Amanda is in charge of clearing a path for the 4.5 metre wide load.
There is quite a bit of danger when we're going along these roads here. You've got to fully trust the vehicle coming towards you, that they're going to pay attention to your sign and lights and things like that.
Being the pilot and wife is not always easy, but Yogi and Amanda's journey together began 9 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I think it might have been the girls that got me intrigued and better wander over and say hello. So, yeah, kind of glad I did. So, yeah, even truck drivers fall in love, you know, like, so there you go. Would you marry me again?
In an industry where broken marriages are common, Yogi and Amanda are a rare exception.
I see how hard it is for him all the time, you know, like leaving and, you know, the kids getting upset and things, you know, when he's walking out the door.
I've got a very, very understanding wife who knows the transport industry.
I couldn't do it all the time like he does. Like, hats off to him, like, of, you know, going out and doing what he does to make a living for us. Hey, Glennie.
Kelly.
Just watch out, we've got the rail coming up here. Make sure, you know, you look left and right.
Thank you, Kelly. All around.
See what I have to put up with all day long.
I am married to my pilot, so, you know, at the end of the day, we've got to figure out who's boss on the road and who's boss at home, you know. I'm the boss of this job and I got my wife's permission to say so.
On the road, as in life, Yogi depends on Amanda. As his pilot, his life is in her hands. Up ahead is a narrow bridge. Amanda warns oncoming traffic by moving into the middle of the road. But in his wing mirror, Yogi spots something. A car has decided to pass him, blind, over the bridge, risking both drivers' lives.
Wait till the overtaken lady. Must need a bit of a hurry. Just one more thing.
The sun's almost setting on Sharon Collins. She's racing to complete her final gold ore run of the day. After 9 hard months on the road, the constant battering, long hours, flat tyres and stifling heat have taken their toll.
I'm a fairly tough sort of person, but I will break down. At the end of the day, I'll shed a few tears. I don't like the boys seeing that because it just makes me look weak, but we all have times where we just can't handle anymore. And I was a little bit like that a couple of weeks ago. I just blew 6 tyres and I couldn't deal with it anymore. I left the truck on the side of the road and I just went, need a coffee. I spent an hour out of the truck and that was it. Went back to the truck, felt a lot better, kept going.
Finally, Sharon can call it a day. She's been up since 5:30 a.m, but before she can relax, each of her 72 wheels will need to be checked.
Just giving my tyres a quick tap to see if anything's flat, then we have a flat tyre. Setting off the rim, I can see it straight away because it's an outside one. Don't know what's happened there, but it's flat, we've got to change it. That's 2 flat tyres today.
At last, the day is over, and Sharon can finally cook dinner in the truck's kitchen, the mudguard.
Living the dream, it's every trucker's dream. Oh, I don't know if it is a dream anymore after a while. It's very tedious and you struggle a little bit.
Yogi has finally made it to the Dowerin farming exhibition.
Hello, biggles!
Importantly, his load, a 10-tonne cedar, has arrived without a scratch.
We'll get it off here, we'll roll this up. We'll have to go into the field day site and unload the tyres because we've got the crane in there.
The delicate job of unloading is going well. Until Yogi spots a problem. The load is too long to come off the trailer without scraping it. He needs to raise the wheels of the load. If the $330,000 cedar doesn't arrive in mint condition, he faces an unhappy client.
Just hold him there. It's like, you know, it's gonna drag. Where in it's gonna drag like just a bit. Yeah.
It's not perfect, but the cedar's okay. Yogi now needs to get back to Perth for repairs to his brake lights as quickly as he can. He has 3 more machines to pick up and he's well behind schedule.
Now I probably can't load till 8 o'clock, so we're behind.
For Yogi and Amanda, this week was supposed to be a new start in their new business.
You got any money?
Never got any money, have you? Always got to bail you out.
Come on, give me some cash.
Behind the smiles, the pressure is mounting. If they can't get the truck fixed and back on schedule, a lifelong dream hangs in the balance. The next few days will be make or break. For Sharon, it's the start of a special day. She's scheduled to take a break after a long 9 months trucking. But before she can relax, there's one last obstacle.
We've been asked by the mine to do a safety audit on the truck to make sure it's compliant with all the safety inspections for the mine.
With strict safety rules, every truck must pass an inspection or be taken off the road.
A little bit nervous about the safety inspection actually.
And Sharon has a problem. Her windscreen is cracked. It's a minor fault, but it could fail the truck.
These guys here will be pretty strict. If they do stand me down, that's my job done. I've got to go and get it fixed, and I don't get paid if I don't pull the oars.
As she arrives, the inspector is waiting.
How you going?
Okay, what's going on today? I don't know if you know. Safety check, purely safety, okay?
Yep.
Your flashing light, I've seen it working, so I'm going to pass that, okay?
I've got one on the tail as well that's working.
Okay.
So, yep. Left and right, I can do left and right.
Repairs in this remote outback post are rarely quick. If she fails, she and the company risk losing thousands of dollars.
Okay, now all your tyres.
Yeah, I did 2 yesterday, so they changed out good. And I got 3 spares left on the rack.
Hydraulic cylinders and hoses, conditions of hydraulic.
I blew a hydraulic hose the other week. It's been changed out, but there's still a little bit of mess around, but we've got no water or anything to clean, so it wasn't too bad actually.
No.
So far, so good. But it's time for Sharon's big worry. The cracked windscreen.
Windscreens, you could know.
Yeah, I've got a crack through them both, but they're not in visual.
Thousands of dollars in lost earnings is riding on the decision of the inspector.
It's all good. Okay, I'm happy.
Cool. Thanks, Don.
Have a safe trip.
No worries. Thanks very much. Whew, that was all good. We passed with flying colours. I'm happy with that because, yeah, it means I can keep trucking.
With the drama over, Sharon can look forward to that well-earned break. But suddenly, there's a change of plans.
And unfortunately, I thought I was going to be able to go home this weekend, but that's turned to custard.
The company needs her to stay. After months of drought, the forecast says the rainy season could be about to break. It's all hands on deck to get every last load in before the weather arrives.
So I'm not really happy about it because I'm tired and I just want to go home.
She's been baked, battered and bruised for the last 9 months. After 800 trips and nearly 80,000 kilometres, Sharon has to once again get back on the road.
I've got to keep trucking while the work's there because as soon as it rains, there'll be no work, so yeah. It's just a long time to be trucking.
In the dead of night, Turbo's pushing hard, but something isn't right.
I can hear a metallic sound coming out from underneath somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is as yet. All I can do now is just see if I can see anything.
Out here, deep in the outback, it's a dangerous place to have a problem.
It's real big snake territory, this. Mate, and they'll actually be curled up on the ground. Just make sure this is right. Yeah.
A loose chain seems to be the problem.
That's all it takes, is one little thing like that could end up losing the whole boat off the side.
But Turbo's spotted something else.
I just want to climb in and just double check this. Oh! Oh!
A part of his brakes has come loose. It's hanging by a thread. He's out of mobile contact, hundreds of kilometres from the nearest town. He's alone in the pitch black of night and in snake country. To make matters worse, if Turbo can't fix the problem, he risks losing a job and thousands of dollars. Turbo gambles his truck.
The road is that rough. Last time I destroyed the entire back end.
And his life.
Don't feel like being blown up tonight.
To complete an epic journey home. Logging trucker Brett Robin has a battle on his hands.
One of the hardest driving jobs anywhere in the world.
To deliver massive machines into a mountain forest.
People have accidents. It's just part and parcel of this job.
Heavy haulage expert Yogi is racing to beat a vital deadline.
Come on. 2-0. Touch and go, I think.
With his business on the line, it's a make or break job. On a roadside deep in the Northern Territory, Turbo has a serious problem.
Real big snake territory, this.
He's alone, hundreds of kilometres from help, and dealing with a badly damaged truck.
Shit!
If he can't get moving soon, he'll lose a vital job worth thousands of dollars.
I feel like a G.I. Joe now.
Turbo's partway through a run from Darwin to the remote town of Mount Isa to pick up a load of mining equipment. Then he's heading home to Brisbane. At a massive 4,300 kilometres, it's like driving from London almost to Tehran. The 47-year-old owns and runs his own business, with more than 3 decades' experience behind the wheel. Over the last 2 days, he's been racing to make one of the most important deadlines of his career.
I've got to do what I've got to do.
But after problems getting paid,
$100 sitting in the pocket ain't going to get you very far.
bushfires,
We're going to drive straight into the heart of it.
and a run-in with his nemesis,
caravans.
Mechanical problems are the last thing he needs.
I just want to climb in and just double check this.
A brake booster has come loose under his truck. It isn't working.
That brake booster is not going to apply the brakes. That wheel will just free spin, so there's no brakes on it.
But Turbo's in luck. Only one wheel's affected and the truck's okay to continue.
This whole booster actually has to be replaced, but everything else is good.
If he's to make his next job, Turbo still has 500 kilometres to cover in just a few hours. Already under huge pressure, he's got a long night ahead. In the dense woodlands of southeast Australia,
One of the hardest driving jobs anywhere in the world.
a new logging season is about to begin. For 32-year-old Brett Robin, the next few days will test his skill behind the wheel to the limit. It's Brett's job to move a series of huge machines deep into a mountain forest. Without them, the season can't begin.
When you start stressing, that's when things go wrong.
Brett's based in the central highlands of Victoria, 70 kilometres east of Melbourne. Over the next 3 days, he'll be making a series of trips from his home in Yarra Junction to the forest of Mount Taronga. It's a 700-kilometre run on some of the toughest, tightest, winding tracks in Australia. Logging is one of the most hazardous jobs in the world.
As dangerous goes, very, very dangerous job.
Only the best of the best can cut it behind the wheel on these roads.
You take your eyes off where your steer tyre's going for even, 2 or 3 seconds, you're in trouble.
Brett's been driving here nearly every day for the last 13 years.
Timber industry is one of them things that it's in your blood. I used to ride around with Dad from being a little kid. Every Saturday, every day off, Dad would do maintenance on weekends and I'd be sitting up in the truck.
For 5 generations, the Robin family have worked these renewable forests.
Everything's a 80-year cycle. Once we harvest it, they generally burn it and regenerate it. And it's grouse to be able to go back and harvest and regenerate areas my grandfather and great-grandfather have done. I hope my kids get to do it too.
With the start of a new season, Brett is hoping for good weather. But recent forecasts bring bad news. Heavy rain is due. If it hits, he won't be going anywhere.
We're not allowed in and out of the bush when it's wet. They're not the types of days you want to be driving a truck on the road anyway.
If Brett can't deliver the goods, a multi-million-dollar logging operation will grind to a halt.
Yeah, we can't start harvesting or hauling until we get the machines in the bush. We've got a short time frame. We want to get into it.
To survive here, it takes a very special trucker.
You've got to be dedicated. You've got to want to drive on these roads. And I know one bloke that packed up his bags after halfway through his first load and just went home. So he never come back. Left the truck and went.
Outside Perth, 36-year-old heavy haulage trucker Yogi is battling to keep one of the biggest weeks of his career on track.
Because I'm chasing a fault. It's a bit of a problem. I haven't got the option to go back and load this afternoon.
He has an electrical fault that's affecting his brake lights. If they fail, he'll have to take his truck off the road, right in the middle of a crucial job.
So he's got to go and chase this auto electrical problem.
Based in Katanning, Western Australia, Yogi's midway through moving 4 huge agricultural machines to Dowerin for a farming exhibition, deep in the state's wheat belt. By now, he should have completed 2 330-kilometre round trips. But after being delayed with mechanical problems,
I've got no brake lights on the truck now.
roadworks and bad weather, he still has 3 more machines to deliver and just a day to do it. But he has 15 years experience behind the wheel and driving is his passion.
My original plan was to be a Formula 1 race car driver, and it turned out I grew up and I got a little bit big.
Just 3 months ago, Yogi and his wife Amanda set up their own business.
Yogi, how you going, mate?
He's under huge pressure. Already behind schedule, he's running out of time.
I'm about to change my time slots from today till tomorrow. 26 to 9 tonne each.
Yogi and Amanda have borrowed heavily to fund his new venture. The future of his business and his family is at stake.
Are you diggers too?
Yogi's made a temporary fix to faulty brake lights. He wants them repaired properly, but finding an auto electrician is proving tricky.
Can I come and see you, or you're too busy, or... Yeah, righto, okay. Yep. There. Well, that was useless. Frustrating. So, yeah.
Yogi's repairs will have to hold.
Can't find anyone to look at the trailer, so we'll just go and load instead. Yeah.
Right now, he's got a new mission.
Francesco. Hey, Francesco, it's Yogi from Kendall Trucking, mate. I'm out at the lakes, so I reckon I'll be in there by 5 o'clock or just before 5 o'clock. So can we load that little machine today, please? Thanks, buddy. See you, mate. See ya.
With the whole job hanging in the balance, it's vital Yogi finds a way to get back on schedule. If he can load one of the 3 machines today, he'll save precious hours tomorrow and give himself a chance of getting the job done on time.
Come on, this is frustrating here.
But the clock is against him. It's 4:30 and the loading yard closes at 5. On top of that, Yogi's heading into Perth's rush hour.
Back in the world's worst drivers.
On this job, Yogi's name and new business are at stake.
We've got about 3 or 4 Ks to go. We've got 10 minutes. No, correction, we've got 8 minutes.
The next few minutes could be the difference between make or break. 1,000 kilometres out of Darwin, Turbo is pushing hard. In the dead of night, the roads are usually quiet. But suddenly, up ahead, Turbo spots company. A stationary car on a lonely outback highway is a worrying sign.
You see someone on the side of the road out here, naturally we just assume that there's a problem.
It's time he can't spare, but Turbo needs to investigate. The occupants are a pair of tourists trying to reach Darwin in a very damaged car.
Mate, that's done so much structural damage under here in those rails. I'm just astounded how you've even been able to keep it on the road. If you're going up to Darwin like this, it wouldn't make it. So, Barclay Station about 20 clicks up the road, because after that, there's pretty well nothing. They hit a kangaroo about a day and a half ago, and they've continued to drive with the fan going through the radiator, chilling it up, and radiators back into the engine, cooked engine.
Amazingly, the car is still running, but it does need fuel. Everyone knows petrol and flames don't mix. Except these two.
Not with fuel, not with the smoke, with fuel.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, I don't feel like being blown up tonight. One of them decided to light a cigarette with an open fuel can, with fumes coming out of the fuel can. Both of them had cigarettes going. they were just some people that you could not help. I'm sorry, no matter what you told them, they don't care. I reckon they'll drive straight past the station and they'll just keep going on their little merry way to Darwin. All right?
Okay, that's good.
Not a problem. Have a good one.
Thank you.
It's 5 a.m. on a cold spring morning in Victoria. For Brett Robin and his family firm, one of the most important jobs of the year is about to begin.
We've got a short time frame. We've got to get these machines in the bush in the next few days so as that we can get a start. We can't start harvesting or hauling until we get the machines in the bush.
For the next 3 days, Brett will face some of the most dangerous roads in Australia.
Got to be on the ball all the time. It's not like driving up and down the highway chasing a white line. People do get bogged, especially this time of the year. And every now and then, someone has an accident and tips one over.
His first load is a 28-tonne excavator, double the weight of a London bus. To reach it, Brett will have to negotiate the notorious Black Spur Road.
It's a reasonably tight road.
It's 60 kilometres of narrow, winding track with steep drops and solid banks on either side.
Gutters drop off so quick and the bitumen finishes right at the white line. You're talking about a matter of inches. You've got to be aware of other drivers all the time.
Despite the early hour, Brett's got plenty of company.
You always get cars on the wrong side of the road, cars overtaken, especially on spots where there's no room to be overtaken. Everyone's in a hurry to get to where they're going. Always a lot of accidents on this road.
While traffic is a constant hazard, as Brett climbs higher into the mountains, he's faced with even more danger. Dense fog and bright sunshine makes visibility poor.
Nothing bloody worse. Come around the corner in the fog, could be a tree across the road.
In these conditions, anything coming the other way could spell disaster. Heavy haulage trucker Yogi must reach a client by 5 p.m. if he's to stand a chance of completing a vital delivery.
Yeah, here we go, here we go, here we go.
With his new business at stake, the fate of the whole job rests on the next 10 minutes.
Righto, we need 2 good chains into the lights here. Come on. Ho, we're gonna make it. Somebody's smiling down on us today. That is fantastic. One more. Now what? 3 minutes.
At 4:59,
hello.
Yogi's made it. It's a massive relief to load up this 4.5-tonne forklift. While Yogi's caught a break, his work is far from done. He's been up since 3:30 a.m, but he still needs to find the electrical fault on his $150,000 trailer.
Just going through the process of grabbing every wire. Hopefully it'll trip out.
It's causing his brake lights to short out. If they fail, his truck will have to come off the road.
There's a bit of wiring back here.
With the job at risk, it could be a long night. After losing time to help some daredevil tourists, Turbo's closing fast on his next pickup in Mount Isa.
I'm going to be cutting it very fine on my time.
Turbo's truck is his livelihood. His success depends on keeping it moving and keeping it loaded.
X amount of dollars for this boat to come from Darwin back to Brisbane. There's X amount of dollars from the load from Mount Isa to Proserpine. Those two loads put together still don't cover the amount of fuel that I'm going to burn. I'm running at a loss, but by doing these couple of jobs, that's bringing me back towards home.
Home is still 2,500 kilometres away in Brisbane, where he lives with daughter Tracy and wife Jo.
When we first met, I used to go in the truck with him.
Oh,
but,
yeah!
But after a while, it just got too much.
Turbo is away for weeks and months at a time. Being home is a welcome break.
You having egg? You having egg or you're not having egg?
Yeah, right. Well, I'll probably have one now.
And a chance to catch up on household chores. Like clearing a wasp's nest, Turbo style. Back on the road to Mount Isa, Turbo's got problems with a different kind of beast. Cattle wandering along highways is a regular sight in the outback. They're a hazard to all road users, especially car driving tourists.
Car drivers that aren't locals and don't know about this sort of stuff have no idea, come flying straight into them and bang, got them. It would kill somebody in a car, in the truck, it would rip the whole front of the truck off. The bull bar would basically be sitting in our lap.
Slowing for the cattle means Turbo's lost more valuable time. But at least he's made a friend. Yogi is working into the night to find the cause of an electrical fault. Under his trailer, every strip of wire must be checked.
I reckon I might have It's basically shorting out there on that number plate light.
The problem's being caused by two cables rubbing together. Disconnecting one of them will stop the shorting.
They'll disconnect the number plate light and it probably won't have a reversing light. But if they're still working and they're still working down the back, happy days.
Finally, it's problem solved.
We're all good in the hood. The end is but now.
Next morning, and it's a big day for Yogi. Along with the forklift, he's due to deliver a giant seeder and a tractor to a major farming exhibition. All three must arrive today. There's only one way for Yogi to finish the job on time. Try to fit all three on his newly repaired trailer.
Oh, still got lights. I don't know, I might have over-committed and under-calculated. All in the deck space. If it all fits, it'll all fit.
With the farming exhibition starting in 24 hours, it's do or die.
So I've definitely got to be up there today. There's no ifs, buts or whats. If we don't make it today, it's, your customer's not happy.
Yogi's first challenge is loading a 2.5-ton, $80,000 seeder. It's big, awkward, and brand new. 2 down, 1 to go. Now space is tight.
There's 4 there.
If he's to fit the last machine on, Yogi must hope he's left enough room.
Right, let's go to work.
With another machine to load and 160 kilometres to cover, the job's going down to the wire. Gridlock is the last thing he needs. After running into a thick fog bank, Brett Robin has made it to the first pickup of a tough 3 days. For now, conditions are perfect. But at this time of year, the weather can change fast. Brett's meeting his brother Glenn to load a massive excavator.
Now we need this machine back up the bush, so we're moving it out.
It's urgently needed in another part of the forest, where loggers are waiting to start work. At 28 tonnes, it's heavier than 4 adult elephants.
When he's driving it up on the float, he's blind on one side. I guide him on, that way a couple inches.
Brett and Glenn must be centimetre perfect.
Another inch. Righto.
Next, Brett must chain the excavator to his trailer. But today, he's in for an unpleasant surprise.
It's good when you turn up after you've asked the blokes to bloody dig it out, and then you turn up here and it's still full of mud.
It may be a dirty job, but it's vital the massive load is secure.
If I go around a corner and my chains are not holding properly and it slides, bad deal.
Finally, the boys are ready to go. Fully loaded, Brett's truck weighs in at more than 50 tonnes. At 30 metres, it's twice the length of a London bus. With a steep descent and more than 20 hairpin bends to negotiate, it's a supreme test of Brett's driving skill.
There might be something on the road that, you end up moving around at that 6 inches, and that 6 inches can be enough that'll put you over the bank.
In the middle of a forest, there are hazards around every corner.
Driving along 1 minute and you'll be good as gold, and then you'll come along a soft spot from where the water's sitting underneath it. Oh. Too close to the soft spot, could end up sinking and tipping the truck over.
Brett's made it through the worst.
People have accidents. It's just part and parcel of this job.
But around the next corner, there's another surprise. On one side, a deep, soft gutter. On the other, a sheer drop.
You can end up on your roof on one side or bogged on the other.
After a long night, Turbo's within touching distance of his next stop. He's scheduled to pick up a load of mining equipment in Mount Isa.
Probably 70, about 75, 80 clicks out of Isa. When I left my yard in Darwin yesterday, I was very doubtful that I was going to get down here in time.
With the load comes the promise of much needed cash.
It's 9:10 now. Roughly 10 o'clock was when I said I was going to be there. At the way it is looking, 10 o'clock I will be there.
But for Turbo, one deadline is replaced by another.
I should be loaded within half an hour, 40 minutes tops, and I've got to get to Proserpine to unload by lunchtime tomorrow. That is one big mine, that, eh? I'm actually 10 minutes ahead of schedule, which is good. So I've spoken with the customer. He's given his boys a call up here, so they're going to meet me at the front gate so we can go straight in and load.
After all the mechanical failures, delays and money problems, it's a huge relief for Turbo.
I'm here, I'm happy, and I'm ahead of schedule. That's what I want, and I'm proud.
Brett Robin is fighting to avoid thick mud on one side and a steep drop on the other.
get out a little bit wide on that corner, it was wanting to drag me in the gutter.
Finally at his destination, Brett can unload the urgently needed excavator. But after losing time cleaning his freight, he has another problem.
Things are taking us a little bit longer than what they should have. So now we're going to have to chance the rain.
The winter break has been a lean time for the family firm.
We've had 5 months off because we finished our quota early, so we're sort of really keen to get the machines back in the bush before this storm hits.
More delays could cost them big money. Brett's truck is already struggling to cope in wet conditions. If more rain comes, he could get bogged. He's picking up a 20-ton digger. At 4 metres wide, Brett will have to extend his hydraulic trailer to get it on board. But there's a problem. It isn't budging.
Oh, the bloody float won't widen out. Shits.
With dark clouds gathering, Brett puts in a call to his mechanic.
It's jammed up hard, like it's actually got heaps of pressure on it. Yeah, righto. All right, we'll give that a go.
The mechanic thinks a locking pin may have slipped back into place. It should be an easy fix. But under the trailer,
no pin on this side.
There is no locking pin. It's back onto the phone for plan B.
Yeah, there's no pin on this side.
Lunchtime traffic has cost Yogi another precious hour. With one more pickup,
Come on.
and 160 kilometres to go, he must be at the farming show before sunset. After 15 years driving trucks, Yogi's covered more than 3 million kilometres. That's 4 trips to the moon and back. It's a journey he began with his father.
My dad's been a real good inspiration to me over the years. He's taught me a lot about driving and work ethics. He did everything for us as a kid that he could possibly do with his father. Our growing up was just brilliant.
It was his father's experience in the trucking industry which inspired Yogi to run his own business.
He worked at one company for 21 years and basically left, and I don't know what he got for it. I don't really think he got anything for his service and his loyalty. So that pushed me to look at, well, maybe I should do something for myself.
But recently, ill health has meant tough times for the whole Kendall family.
Unfortunately, he's got Lewy bodies, form of dementia, so at 61, so yeah, it really cuts me in half. I struggle big time with it because I don't know how to deal with it. Yeah, it just doesn't sink in. Yeah. Righto, we're nearly here.
As he arrives at his final pickup, at last there's some good news for Yogi. The 2-ton tractor fits.
Oh, relief.
Fully loaded, Yogi's carrying 9 tons of equipment worth more than $250,000. In treacherous conditions, he needs a trouble-free 160 kilometres to Dowerin. Brett Robin is sweating on a vital phone call to his mechanic.
Where's Daryl?
With rain fast approaching, he needs to get his hydraulic trailer working or run the risk of getting bogged.
No pin on this side.
The trailer's been idle during the winter break. The source of the problem could take days to find.
Pull it out with the excavator.
Brett's only got one option: use the excavator to force the trailer open. With the trailer open, Brett can load up and get back on the road. He's heading for a forest 60 kilometres away at the end of another narrow dirt track. Better suited to 4x4s, it's not a journey for the faint-hearted.
My wife had come for a ride first time ever in a truck, and this was the road we come along. Down here where you look over the bank, probably, if you don't like heights, you come down here, it's the last time you've ever been in a truck.
Up ahead is a notoriously tight hairpin. Brett must play a balancing game to get around it.
There's both sides of the road soft, because it's a big soak that comes down here in like a spring.
To stop his truck from sliding down the steep bank,
you only get one go at this corner.
Brett needs to place his front tyres as far over to the right as he dares. Push too far and he'll bog the truck in thick mud.
We're out in the mud.
The logging camp isn't far away. While the roads are tight and twisting, at least they're empty. That's until the car ahead is blocking the road and there's no way Brett can reverse. In Queensland, Turbo has picked up 4 tonnes of mining equipment. It's due to be dropped off 800 kilometres away in the town of Proserpine, en route to his home in Brisbane. That's if
Get in there!
he can get his load to cooperate. With another deadline looming, Turbo's decided to risk his truck by taking a shortcut.
5k up the road, flick onto a 250k dirt section of real rough road that's going to save me about $500 in fuel.
It's a high-stakes gamble. If conditions are bad, Turbo could pay a hefty price.
Last time I come up it, I destroyed the entire back end, all suspension, airbags, bushes, pins, couplings, the lot, because of the corrugations and the roughness of the rocks that we've got to go over.
Turbo's truck is his living. He can't afford that kind of damage again.
It's going to be really hard. I am nervous.
Despite the nerves, Turbo takes the gamble. From here, he has 250 kilometres of dirt to survive. Every K is a threat to his truck.
Some of these rocks will actually puncture tyres. Just trying to find a smooth line. Which ain't easy.
It doesn't take long before the road starts to attack his rig.
It is making the truck step sideways, left and right.
And with dust pouring from his tyres, he can't see the load behind.
I've lost visual on trailers down both sides, so I can't see what's going on.
Suddenly, something isn't right.
The way it looks at the moment, it looks like that it's probably chopped part of the suspension out, either in the prime mover or the trailer, because we're actually now crab walking. The trailer's kicked out, the prime mover's kicked out the opposite way.
Turbo has no choice but to pull up and check for damage. He's a long way from help. A mechanical failure out here will be hard to fix. Turbo may be about to lose his gamble. In the highlands of Victoria, Brett Robin has run into the world's smallest traffic jam.
I've got a car that's come up here and is propped in the middle of the road and has got no idea where to go.
Confronted with a 30-metre long 50-tonne truck, the driver has frozen. Brett can't move over any further.
Last thing you want to do is risk moving over that extra foot and being down over the edge, which has happened quite a few times.
The only way forward is back.
I don't think she's real good at going backwards.
It's a minor delay, but daylight's running out fast. Brett needs to push on and make camp before dark. Finally, the finish line is in sight. Brett's beaten the weather, survived the road, and delivered massive machines into the heart of the Victorian forest. And he's made it without a scratch. At least this time.
Every now and then you do sort of stick yourself in a position where, you know, you're stuck to the seat, let's put it that way.
After battling through heavy rain, Yogi arrives at the Dowerin farming exhibition.
Yeah, there you go. It's getting quite busy out here already. And of course it's raining, so of course we've got to do it in the rain.
Despite the delays, he's bang on time. All that remains is to safely unload his freight.
Every time I get to my destination, it's like 10 tonnes gets lifted off your shoulders.
Even if the weather is making Yogi work for every last dollar.
A lot of weight on my shoulders today. A lot of water on my shoulders.
Yogi just needs to walk the cedar home.
It's going to position this on the stand for Ausplow DBS.
And he can breathe a massive sigh of relief.
I love the job, I love the challenge of the job. Can't see myself doing anything else.
It's been a huge few days for Kendall Trucking, but under massive pressure,
now I probably can't load till 8 o'clock.
Yogi's overcome his troubles.
Yeah, all good in the hood.
To deliver $500,000 worth of equipment, all with a big smile on his face.
It's been a long couple of days, but it does feel good to be empty, and that's fantastic. All my customers are happy, so at the end of the day, if they're happy, I'm happy.
Job done.
Oh, yeah, right. Tell you what, it's actually nice to be finished.
Turbo's decision to take a remote dirt road shortcut could be about to cost him dearly. He's still 1,000 kilometres from his home in Brisbane and a day's drive away from help. The truck has been handling badly.
Your vehicle will probably drive along in a straight line. Your trailer could step out to the side, or your prime mover could step out sideways. So instead of tracking a straight line, you'll track in an angle. Crab walking, you're going to start chewing tyres out and blowing tyres left, right and centre. I'm just checking, it looks like one of the saddles have gone.
Alone in near 40-degree heat, Turbo must check every part of his 40-metre road train. Having come so far, to fail now would be a disaster. But under the truck, there's no damage to be found.
I'm starting to think an optical illusion. Toes.
The crabbing was a false alarm. It's a big relief. Turbo can get back on the road.
All right. Should all be good now.
And set a course for home. Two days later, Turbo rolls into Brisbane. He's pushed hard, but he's in one piece.
Not with fuel, not with the smoke, with fuel.
After 4,300 kilometres, his freight's delivered.
I'm a winner. I'm always a winner, and I will always beat any obstacle that's ever put before me.
His truck's empty. For now, his wheels are still. He's made it to the most important destination. Home. On Outback Truckers, scrap trucker Russell McDonough
go down and smash some cars.
Is trying to get his business and his health
still a bit puffed out from when I got crook.
On the road to recovery. Macca McCready hits stormy seas.
Such a ball buster.
Taking a world-famous yacht.
If I crack the hull, someone's burnt $50,000 for nothing.
On a cross-country voyage. And for 2-Up team Bluesy and Nolene,
you're the road.
A routine run
Brain dead at times.
Turns into a rescue mission.
Oh dear, how did I know there was something wrong?
Cutting through the red heart of Australia, the Tanami track is 1,000 kilometres of desert, dust and truck-chewing corrugations. Out here, only the very toughest can survive.
It's just a hard road.
One of those is 57-year-old scrap metal trucker Russell McDonough.
When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Russell's on a journey to collect scrap metal from one of the most remote regions on the planet. Based in Alice Springs, he's heading to the isolated community of Yuendumu, deep in the outback. From there, he'll make a series of runs further into the desert. For the last 8 years, Russell's business has been scrap.
We pay cash for scrap, copper, brass, aluminium, mag wheels.
Turning metal into money at the yard he runs with wife Nikki.
Behind every successful business is a successful and very smart woman. Successful and sexy.
Recycling is their passion, and their pride and joy is a mobile car crusher designed and built by Russell from pieces of scrap in his yard.
There were a lot of people that said, you just can't build one of these things with the gear you've got in a junkyard.
But Russell built it anyway.
Have a look at that, you know. But do you reckon I can't do anything?
It's a 25-tonne monster, which can chew through 100 cars a day. Russell trucks it around the outback, recycling car wrecks which litter the landscape. But eking out a living in the desert is a constant battle.
It is that harsh. It breaks things that normally never break.
On this trip, Russell's desperate to make up lost time. Months of it. For the past 8 weeks, he's been seriously ill with a lung infection.
I thought I was bulletproof, but something caught up to me. It actually has been a fair blow to us financially. Even once I was better, I still wasn't better enough to go to work.
Now, Russell's business needs an urgent injection of cash. His plan? Collect the crusher from where it was left in Yuendumu, then hit a mother load of car wrecks at nearby sites. If Russell can stack his 3 trailers with crushed cars, he should be able to pull his business back from the brink. It's a big job, which calls for a crack team. Helping with the trucking side is old mate Danny, and on the machines, 19-year-old Rowan, who's like a second son to Russell. To pull it all off, Russell needs to put his truck, his crusher and his body on the line in one of the harshest places on earth. At Fremantle Sailing Club, boat trucker Dave Macca McCready is sweating on getting his load exactly right.
You do your very best to get your measurements millimetre perfect.
About another 50, please. I've just got to move this across, mate. That's good, buddy. Dead straight, mate. She's right in the middle there.
He's loading a 12-metre long, 7.5-tonne racing yacht that was never meant to be carried over land.
They don't actually design them to be trucked across some of the roughest bitumen roads in the world.
Okay, you can put it down at that, Dave.
There's a lot that you have to kind of get your head around. This is absolutely the moment of truth. It takes quite a bit of patience and sort of foreseeing what could go wrong. I've been doing it for a long, long time.
34 years, in fact, with all sorts of loads, but boats are Macca's specialty.
You know what? I haven't even scratched one. Touch wood, this won't be the first either.
Even with his experience, the task before Macca is daunting. He's got to move this boat 5,000 kilometres to a prestigious sailing regatta near Airlie Beach in Queensland. That's further than crossing the Atlantic. But on this voyage, he'll have to navigate some of the most brutal bitumen in Australia. The starting gun for the regatta won't wait. Macca has just 8 days to get the job done.
Rocco forward a little more, mate. Work.
People have faith in me that I can get it done. And I find myself waking up at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. My brain is calculating, is that measurement correct? Will that fit there? How will the boat sit? Bow down, bow up?
Also weighing on his mind is the knowledge that this isn't just any yacht. This is Hitchhiker. She's a piece of sailing history. In the 1980s, she represented Australia at 2 Admiral Cups. Her cutting-edge design made her one of the fastest yachts in the world. To build, she cost close to $800,000. But to her millionaire owner, Peter Briggs, she's priceless.
Well, there's a great pride. This is a part of my life, and has been for a long time. This boat in a funny sort of way, the excitement it can give you, keeps you motivated to want to do things in life, keep going.
Trucking a yacht across Australia isn't cheap. Her return ticket will cost $50,000.
A lot of money at stake and a lot of time at stake.
It all adds up to a perfect storm of stress. A precious, fragile load, a brutally long road, and a deadline which can't budge. In Perth, 2-up team Bluesy and Nolene are in the last place they want to be.
Bullshit! What are you doing? Get yourself a new secretary, it's just a passenger.
Crawling through grey city streets. During rush hour.
Big rush to get to nowhere, just to a red light.
It's a world away from the empty outback roads this couple love.
Thank you about my lifestyle.
What lifestyle? All we do is work.
Once they clear Perth, they'll be heading to the mining town of Kalgoorlie. It's a 1,200 kilometre round trip deep into the goldfields of Western Australia. In Europe, that kind of run could get you through 6 countries. On this trip, they'll be lucky to see 6 towns. Bluesy's been driving solo for more than 30 years, but for the last 6, he's shared the cab with his partner, Nolan.
He looks after me and protects me and makes sure I'm safe, and the boot's on the other foot.
Driving 2-up means watching each other's back.
When he's climbing all over trailers and chaining things down, or even when he's driving in traffic, he's got 2 sets of eyes in the truck, not 1, because I'm always looking out for him.
On this trip, they'll have to take on one of the busiest outback highways in Australia, in the rain and the dark. And there's extra pressure coming from the boss. On a rare day off, Bluesy and Nolene have been called in to make a vital last-minute delivery. A 40-foot container. It must be in Kalgoorlie by sunrise tomorrow, in just 14 hours' time.
Drop the container off.
Okay, wait on, goddammit.
The job's so short notice that no one knows what's in the container.
Ask the boss what it is, he hasn't got a clue either.
Or where exactly it's supposed to go.
We're off to Kalgoorlie to deliver. I know where, but I'll find out.
With a tight deadline to beat and a hard road ahead, it's down to Bluesy and Nolene to get the job done. But push too hard out here and things can turn ugly in a hurry. On the Tanami track, north of Alice Springs, Russell McDonough is on his first job since recovering from serious illness.
Felt something back earlier. Just going to do a bit of a tyre check.
But only 2 hours into the trip, he's hit his first setback.
Still got a couple of tyres to change.
It's the hottest part of the day, and Russell is far from 100%.
They're tight. They're under that much pressure that if the nut's off and I hit that, it could fly off and break my kneecap. They normally come off fairly easy, but this one's just been pounded and pounded with rocks.
These tyres weigh 55 kilos each.
I'm getting a bit of a sweat up, and I probably shouldn't, but I'm still a bit puffed out from when I got crook.
Just weeks ago, Russell was in hospital battling fungal pneumonia. He caught it after breathing in a spore carried in outback dust. This is his first hard graft since he's recovered. It's a major test of his health in a place which breaks even the toughest of truckers.
Russell being Russell, he'll just push himself through.
300 kilometres south, Danny O'Connor is on his way to meet up with old mate Russell.
The man hasn't been able to do a full day's work yet, so it's going to be interesting when we get out there. And he won't ask for help. He's just a small operator.
When he heard about Russell's illness, he volunteered to help out. He's driven a massive 1,500 kilometres from Adelaide in South Australia to do his bit.
He hasn't done any work for the last 2 months, so I don't have to be a brain specialist to know that he's going to be doing it tough, you know.
After weeks of planning, Macca McCready is casting off on his epic voyage. It's a high-pressure job, but he wouldn't have it any other way.
I love the challenges of tricky loads. It suits my nature. Deep within me, there's a certain amount of paranoia that runs around that I will get stale and doughy through just doing mundane things all the time.
But there's nothing humdrum about this load. At 4 metres, Hitchhiker is wider than 2 cars, and she has to squeeze into a single lane. If she clips a tree, a pole, or another vehicle, her fragile hull could be punctured, ending her race before it's even begun. Watching Macca's every move is his pilot, Andy.
Andy's moved across, and he's stopping the traffic from scooting up the inside of me. He's basically my wingman. He's running rear blocker for me. You want to swing across now, Andy, and shut the door for me? If I see something up ahead that I think looks a bit narrow for us, I'll call him on the radio and I'll ask him to close off the lane again so I can move across.
They've made it through the city. Welcome to the Outback.
This is what this yacht doesn't like.
Only 300 kilometres into the journey, the road is deteriorating fast.
When the road's rough, you find your just concentration levels just skyrocket. Looking at the surface, looking in the mirror all the time, checking your straps, you know, watching the boat rock and roll. You find your mind's always just looking for trouble, looking for things.
But trouble has found Macca.
One of our bow straps, as I can see it, it's come loose. Trailer flexing on the rough road.
If the strap gives way, the entire front half of the boat will start bouncing, driving the support struts through the hull.
How far to go to Southern Cross Hole, mate? I got a strap that's working its way loose up on the bow. We got much further to go, mate? So as you can see, this one's come quite loose, so I've got to fix that up. It's better that I deal with it now. Could damage the mast, and we don't want that to happen.
On further inspection, Macca discovers it's not just one strap that's the problem.
See that? That's actually a little looser than what we want. That one's come loose. See this? Tweak him up. This is the problem area. This is the area that we spend a lot of time prepping.
Delays like this cost Macca precious time. After driving all day, he's covered barely 300 kilometres.
Today was the day about getting it down the highway a little ways, seeing what breaks, seeing what gives up, seeing how much trouble we can get into. And then the real voyage starts tomorrow. After that, if we muffed up, then we're in the shit.
Macca's race has truly begun, but carrying a wide load means he can only drive in daylight.
It's as good as we could have hoped for, but as you can see, we've only got into the first 40 or 50 k's of rough road.
At the end of day one, Macca has 4,500 kilometres to go in just 7 days. On the road to Kalgoorlie, Bluesy's given the reins over to Nolene.
Update is, boss is asleep and I'm behind the wheel. And I get the skinny road. Yuck.
She's heading out of Perth on the Great Eastern Highway, one of Australia's busiest roads.
There ain't much room to move. They haven't actually widened it or done a lot to it.
After a recent spate of collisions and rollovers, it's also one of the most dangerous.
Yeah, pretty rugged and pretty rough. It's as bad as some of the gravel roads. In the night time, it's not too bad because there's not that much traffic, so you can sort of hang on the white line in the middle. Just got to watch what you're doing, be aware of where you are on the road.
To make their tight deadline, Bluesy and Nolene must take turns at the wheel. Suddenly, in the dead of night, Nolene gets a rude awakening.
Oh, hello. You woke me up. How did I know there was something wrong? Oh dear.
It's a friend 300 kilometres further ahead. His truck is crippled on the side of the road.
I knew something was wrong and bloody woke me up.
He needs their help. After pushing as hard as they can, Bluesy and Nolene finally reach their mate.
There he is.
What they find isn't pretty.
Holy moly. Oh my, what a mess. Oh, don't.
It's a double tyre blowout. Dealing with this mess is going to cost them precious time.
Oh, yuck.
In the isolated desert settlement of Yuendamu, Danny, Rowan and Russell have finally caught up with each other.
No worries. My job, whatever needs to be done, we just do. You know, just all hands in.
Russell's car crusher has been sitting here for months, gathering dust and rust. His first job is to get it going. A loader and excavator are the heavy lifters of his operation. But there's a problem with the excavator.
It's a fraction embarrassing. We've actually forgot to bring the key out for this little machine.
Russell seems to be able to fix everything with a little 6-inch shifter, and I have trouble fixing some things with my whole toolbox. He's a very clever man.
Start it up there with the shifter and turn it off down here by hand. No worries.
Next job, load the crusher and machines onto the trailers.
Just make sure everything's right. And then, yeah, go down and smash some cars.
It's a hard life for a car in the outback. Dumps like these are a regular sight. The vast distances make mechanics and tow trucks unaffordable. When a car dies out here, it ends up in a graveyard like this. And that's where Russell comes in. First crush of the day. With a downward pressure of 200 tonnes, it's like a blue whale sitting on your car roof.
Like the crunch, the bang, the actual noise that comes out, near on terrifying sometimes. You know, it's a fair old big hunk of machine. Whatever you put in there comes out destroyed.
Crushing cars is a 4-step job. First, strip the exhaust.
This part here I call a catalytic converter. Contains platinum, radium and one other precious metal.
Then remove the engine with a little persuasion from the loader. When it comes to engine removal, Russell holds the record.
1 minute 13.17. 1 minute 43.5.
Step 3, crush the leftovers. Step 4, stack the bodies high. Get it right, and a dump like this can turn a tidy profit. One catalytic converter is worth $50. A clapped out engine, $100. One rusty wreck, $200. Where most people see nothing but junk, Russell sees pay dirt. He'll need every last scrap of it to get his business back on track. On the outskirts of Kalgoorlie, Bluesy and Nolene have arrived at the breakdown site of friend Peppy.
One's taken out the other. I'd say that one there blew first and took out that one. And then it would have popped and gone bang.
He's had a dangerous double blowout. To make matters worse, he's blown his drive tyres, which deliver the engine's power.
And you can see where the rubber's flapped around and belted all the paint off, and it's taken out the light on the back of the prime mover. Rubber ends up everywhere. And that's what a tyre looks like when it disintegrates.
And there's more bad news. Metal and rubber flying off the tyres has punctured an airbag.
Airbag bucket.
They're part of the truck's suspension. The leak has dropped the truck so low onto its axles, it's stopping the tyres from fitting on.
How are we going to fix this situation, Bluesy?
Bluesy tries his biggest jack. But even that can't lift the truck high enough. However, Nolene has a brainwave.
You want to try and block that bag off?
If they can block the leaking airbag, they should be able to raise the truck by pumping up the others.
We'll go and find something.
Nolene thinks she's found the right part for the job.
Take that down a pet.
A tap which should close the air supply to the airbag.
Is that any good or not?
Take your stupid ideas away.
Hey.
It
What?
doesn't fit.
Yeah, go on, blame me.
Bluesy has to keep jacking. Finally, one wheel is on.
Hang on.
But the truck's still not high enough to fit the last wheel.
Just jack it up high, Pip.
The jack's as high as it'll go. But no amount of manpower can get the tyre on. Repair options are running out fast.
Yeah, no, I understand what's happening. Listen, if I put it under here...
And there's another problem. While Bluesy and Nolene have spent all morning helping a friend, their own load should have been delivered 10 kilometres down the road 5 hours ago. Macca McCready has been heading east for 5 days. Now he's about to turn north towards the Queensland border. From here, he's sailing straight into cattle country.
Yeah, got some stock up there, did you say, mate?
Yeah, stock, mate. Right on the road.
Hey, Reggie, thanks for that, mate. We'll have a look for them. Cheers. There's cattle ahead. We're ready to start slowing down, and we've got an eagle eye out looking for stock. If we hit a cow at 80 kilometres an hour, the cow would die for sure. It would drive the bull bar through into the front of the bonnet of the truck, so it would stop the whole trip, and the yacht wouldn't be going any further. So the whole thing would turn into an absolute disaster.
Hitting cattle isn't Macca's only problem. Where there's cattle, there's cattle grids.
Down, we got 1 and 4 metres.
Wow, that was a rough one. Yeah, mate, we hit that last grid pretty hard. Yeah, something's definitely come loose. If we leave it unattended, there's every chance the boat could fall off the trailer, and we don't want that to happen. That back pad has come loose. This is such a fragile hull that the boat won't live with the kind of extra pressure these two pads have got to take. So we can't have this thing rolling around because it will damage the bottom of the boat. If we get a big lever on it to increase the pressure, we'll wind it up too hard. They only have to be there just to stop the hull rocking.
The problem's fixed, but every stop means more lost time. If Hitchhiker is to make her deadline, Macca needs to push on.
Road surface here is pretty good, Andy. What do you feel on it? Up the ante by 10?
Finally, it's the Queensland border. Different state, very different roads.
This is the worst road that we've been on with this yacht. Such a ball buster. Here comes a couple more now. The back end of that trailer, I can see it. It's doing this. On the road, I've got to slow down. Otherwise, the back end of that trailer is copping a hide. If I crack the hull, there'll be 10 really pissed off guys and someone's burnt $50,000 for nothing.
Until now, Mac has been telling his millionaire client all's on track. But now he's starting to worry.
We virtually led him to believe we're almost there.
He has just 3 days to make it to one of the most prestigious regattas in the world. For Macca, there is no second place.
So we're going to look really sad if we have to make another phone call saying, well, we nearly got there, but we didn't quite get there. We sure as shit don't want to f*** it up now.
After clearing out 3 car dumps, Russell McDonough and his team are heading 50 kilometres south to their final stop.
This is a whole lot of fun driving on these corrugated roads.
Russell's health is holding up, but 3/4 of the way through the job, he's only managed to crush 1 trailer load of cars. To make money, he needs to fill all 3 trailers on his 50-metre road train. As the team arrive at the last dump, the desert sun is burning white hot. It's now 39 degrees. And the heat is starting to take its toll on the gear.
This is the fuel hose we were using. It flattens out. When it gets hot, it just melts, causing the thing to starve for fuel. So we just grabbed a bit of this fuel hose off one of these cars. I don't know how long it'll last or whatever, but it's got to be better than what's on there.
While he's only 19, Rowan's a handy mechanic who takes pride in fixing the job on his own. He needs to find a spare part amongst the wrecks. But while he's gone, Mr. Fix-It takes over.
Fitted a new suction hose to the lift pump, cleaned out the gauze filter. Just got to bleed it up now, which is just pump the fuel through till there's no air coming out.
Russell may have done the job, but Rowan's not happy.
It gives you the shit sometimes. And I was doing it. When somebody sort of cuts in over the top of you when you're trying to do something, you just don't know where you're at or what they've done or what anybody's done, you know? It's just like, why didn't you stay away in the first place? He should be getting his crusher ready, but he's not, you know? Crusher ready, Kim Wasabi?
After 5 long, hot days in the outback, Russell's crew are ready for a break. But at the last car dump, there's a treasure trove of wrecks waiting for them. The traffic's moving again, 3 cars at a time. Russell's crusher's in a feeding frenzy, and the body count is piling up. If the boys can keep this pace up, they'll bust out of this dump before sunset and head home to Alice Springs. But suddenly, Rowan has a problem. With the loader out of action, the production line grinds to a halt.
Ah, yes, it's going to go. Cool. It's going to get in.
On the outskirts of Kalgoorlie, Nolene's problem-solving has paid off.
Yes! Took the connection off the airbag, found a tap that fitted, and switched it off, and now their other airbags will pump up. With a bit of luck, we'll be all good.
The stranded truck has risen high enough to get a spare tyre on.
Mission accomplished, all done. Just make sure nothing else is flapping or banging or not doing what it should be.
They've got their friend moving, but the favour has come at a high price. It's midday, and Bluesy and Nolene were supposed to have delivered their load first thing this morning. Their destination is only a few kilometres away. That's if they can make sense of the boss's directions.
Up there.
It's up there.
So where's this got to go? Is it Kalgoorlie, or did you? That's what it says there. Where? I don't know.
Somewhere.
You'll find it.
You'll find it. Keep heading down here and it'll veer around to the right. So, quick bits depot. Now this here on the left. Bogger. Containers, that's it. Nobody's home.
Nolene's followed the directions to the letter, but ahead, there's nothing but empty yards.
Can you see what's written under that containers sign up there? Up here. Containers.
Containers.
Yeah, but I can't see anything else.
Yep. All in that chocolate.
Breakfast.
This is the best part about truck driving. Waiting.
Not.
It's another big headache. The morning is gone, and Bluesy and Nolene still haven't delivered their freight. Instead, they've been left high and dry in Kalgoorlie.
Now. Someone will find us.
We got 680k to go. This is going to be a big, hard day.
Macca's epic yacht race is going down to the wire. He has just 10 hours to get his priceless load delivered to Airlie Beach.
We're pushing really bloody hard. Our deadline is 5 o'clock. The owners want this boat there by then, so we're cutting a really fine line at the moment.
If he's to make it in time, Macca must average 70 kilometres an hour. Every stop and every delay will put him under even greater pressure. But up ahead, there's more slow going. First, some big towns, followed by a long descent through a mountain range.
We can't afford any more hold-ups.
A leaking tyre is the last thing he needs.
I literally do not have the time to stop and pump that up. The worst case scenario is it'll blow. 34 years of trucking, I'm making an educated guesstimate that my outside tyre is strong enough, tough enough to take the load for the last little run into the finish line.
Macca's only a matter of hours away, but it's touch and go whether he'll make it.
Getting in there at 5 o'clock is absolutely critical. We've got guys ready to jump all over this boat as soon as we land into Airlie Beach. Total borderline, total absolute borderline as to whether we make it or not. We really need a good run. We need a clean, good run and quite a lot of good fortune.
So you just missed the turn off there. Time for the next one.
Mate, we just pulled into that gravel parking bay. Are you saying that left turn just before the parking bay is where we should have turned left, mate?
Yeah, right. The police station, you should have turned left.
Pilot's f***ed it up.
It's a disaster.
Where's your book, Andy?
Pilot Andy is lost at the worst possible moment.
We've got 20 minutes to make it. 20 minutes up our sleeve. We're here, aren't we? Right here? So where are you going to take us? We should have known where we were going. There's no value in having a pilot out the front of you, wide load, if he's missing turn-offs and he doesn't know where he's going.
After a 5,000-kilometre cross-continental marathon, 20 minutes now stand between success and failure.
I'm getting too wound up. We cannot be getting taken down the wrong way. We cannot keep making mistakes. One more blue, and I'm going to shut it down.
Russell McDonough and his team have been smashing cars at breakneck speed. But suddenly, Rowan and a 20-tonne loader have come to a grinding halt, putting the brakes on the whole operation.
That's your automatic transmission. I checked the level this morning. I put the thing back in there, tightened it up. Obviously it's built up with pressure during the day, come loose, didn't tighten it up enough, and it's just shot off, gone somewhere.
Russell don't know it yet, but when Rowan checked the transmission oil in the big girl there, he didn't quite put her on tight enough, and she's dropped off not that long ago.
Losing an oil cap is a tiny but serious mistake.
I saw him looking here and then looking here. He's driving very, very fast, trying to find it before I noticed that it was gone. You normally take the filler off and then you set it here, and then you put the oil in, pump, and you put that down, and then you put the cap back on. But If you get distracted, the cap stays sitting here, and then when you're driving around, it'll fall off.
Rowan needs to find the cap, and fast.
Because of the rough environment that we work in, the amount of dust, if it gets down in there, it could damage the transmission. Well, completely wreck it.
It's another test of Russell and Rowan's relationship.
I mean, Russell's pretty particular, you know, you make sure he does everything right, and that's annoying.
I might mention that I've had this loader for 6 years and it hadn't got lost yet, till now.
I was driving it. It's my responsibility, and then, you know, shit breaks or shit gets lost. You get held responsible for it, sort of thing, and that's my fault. I can't blame anybody else.
The whole job is resting on Rowan's young shoulders. If he can't fix the problem, it'll be game over, and thousands of dollars in scrap metal will be left behind. Money Russell can't afford to lose. In Kalgoorlie, Bluesy and Nolene are playing a trucker's favourite game: waiting. After missing a deadline by 5 hours, they're starting to wonder if their customer has given up on them.
Yep. Moving, are we? Wrong one.
If in doubt, call the boss.
Sandro, you ring this up here and tell him we're here. Here he is.
Hey, look at that.
You going over there?
Yeah, I'm just going to open the gate first.
Yep.
And then you can follow me over, right?
I'll follow you over.
Cool.
No problem.
No worries.
Turns out they've been waiting at the wrong place. The yard is a few hundred metres further down the road.
We got him.
At last, Bluesy and Nolene can offload their freight.
Rightio. See you all.
See you!
But the job's not over yet. For the return journey, Bluesy and Nolene have to take an extra trailer. The best way to travel is to stack it. But after a long day, nerves are a little frayed.
Near the road. Rain did at times. Let's get the job done.
Finally, the last task: hitching up a tipper trailer the boss has just bought. It's empty and should be easy to hook up. Only problem, 2 inches of steel is standing in the way. It's part of a different hitching system and it won't work on Bluesy's truck.
I thought it was just 2 bolts, some dude, that's it. Wrong.
If Bluesy is to tow this trailer, he'll have to get it off.
No, get oxy-torch and cut it off. Nowhere to tie the strap down, bro.
With the problem piece of steel finally out of the way, Bluesy and Nolene can hitch up and head for home.
You know, it's good to get back behind the wheel and just wander along. That's the best bit, just wander along.
After helping a fellow trucker and a string of delays, they're 6 hours worse off. And in this business, time means money. But in the Outback, there's 2 unwritten rules that beat all others: get the job done and help a mate in need.
A little dark right now, to be honest with you. That was 10 minutes that we did not have up our sleeve.
After moving heaven and earth to make his deadline, Macca's pilot has slipped up with just 20 minutes to go.
What's happened here now is the pilot missed the turn-off, so we're having to take a longer route. I'm 110% focused on what's in front of the bonnet of this truck at the moment. I'm sitting here thinking about getting the job done.
It may be a longer route, but it has one advantage: the road's almost empty.
Just rolling into Proserpine now. We have 34 kilometres left to travel.
It's a lucky break for Andy. His new route is actually saving time.
Just racking up on the bridge now, Andy. good work, mate. Big effort from Andy. So I gotta say, I'm feeling a big sigh of relief. I think I could probably drag it there if this engine breaks down now. I could drag it there on a piece of rope. 22 kilometres, Airlie Beach. But I can smell the Pacific Ocean, mate. I can smell it in my nostrils right now.
For Macca, it's the culmination of a huge job.
3 months of prep, a serious month of constructing cradles, altering heavy equipment to make the boat fit, a fortnight of organising paperwork, permits.
He's made it all the way from the Indian Ocean to the Pacific.
There you go, check that out.
His freight and his reputation are in one piece.
It's massive relief as far as we haven't had a failure, and I'm feeling that relief now. Cheers, Buster. Power to you. We're here.
After 5,000 kilometres and 8 days of hard trucking, the sailing regatta is yet to start. But Macca has won his race.
Tahiti.
A lost oil cap has stalled Russell McDonough.
Nah, this was all me, unfortunately.
Without it, the loader's engine could be ruined.
So we don't have another one, so we got to put something over it.
A makeshift rubber stopper will have to do.
That'll probably blow off too, but
While his pride's taken a knock, Rowan needs to get over it quickly and push on. This job needs finishing, as Russell badly needs the cash. Rowan, Russell and Danny have crushed and stacked a hoard of precious metal. But at the last, Russell strikes gold.
This motor is really hard to find. It doesn't appear to have any holes out the side or anything. Good running, reconditioned engine of close to $10,000. Far more than it will if I just squashed it. It's the equivalent to lifting out the back seat and finding $10,000.
It's just the sort of luck Russell needs.
He's looking up.
Just got to say thank you, Danny.
Hey, no
That's
dramas.
it. Yeah, this is where we used to be. This is what we used to do. We just haven't done it for so long.
You know, you wouldn't miss it for the world, would you? Yeah, you got to be mad, eh?
You got to be mad.
You got to be mad.
It's been 5 long, hard days. After 2 months off the road, Russell's made it. His road train is loaded high with $20,000 worth of scrap and a bonus 10 grand. Finally, the veteran trucker is back.